Hello everyone, my name is Richard James, and I'm the designer of Stacket. Stacket is a game that quite literally came out of one of my dreams. After I woke up, I was like, I think I can make that. Well, I hope I can make that. So I cobbled together a prototype, and I started testing it out with my friends and with my roommates. At first, I tried it out at parties, and people were like, this looks just like Jenga. But I showed it to them anyway, and afterwards they're like, this is nothing like Jenga, and it's really, really fun. Where do I get a copy? So I've actually already sold a few copies, handmade copies of the game to friends and family who played it with their friends and family. And I even introduced it to my cousin's kid, who's 2 years old. Tom played with it, and to him, it's not even really a game as much as an activity. He just enjoyed taking all the unusual shapes and stacking them as high as he could. I think he got up to 5 or maybe 6 was his best. For me, though, I think one of the key decisions in coming here to Kickstarter is when my mom played it recently with a family friend who's now suffering quite severely from Alzheimer's. Like most people with Alzheimer's, Bob has a really hard time doing things with other people. He just can't track information, so games are really tough for him to play. But for some reason, probably because Stacket's a very tactile game, or maybe it's because, it's based off of something as simple as gravity, he had a lot of fun playing it, and he actually managed to beat my mom at it a couple of times. Now, I'm not saying that Stacket is a medical device or anything. I'm not a doctor, and I don't have a medical degree. But it's a lot of fun, and it seems to be a game that a lot of people can play who can't otherwise play other types of games. So I want to share Stacket with the world, because I know that a lot of people could get a lot of fun out of it, and it's really just a fascinating game for people of all ages. Now, some people see this game and they say, hey, I could make that myself. And I'm like, cool, go for it. In fact, we even included an option to do it yourself for particularly crafty people. But the truth is that most craft stores these days only have a few of the pieces that are necessary to make Stacket. And even if you go online, you'll only be able to find about half of the pieces that are in this game. In order to get the full range of shapes that are in Stacket, the big shapes and the small shapes, the round shapes and the flat shapes, the tall shapes and the short shapes, the things that are in this game that make this game fun, I actually had to handcraft a lot of the pieces in my basement from wood that I got at Home Depot. All told, I made a couple dozen copies of the game, like the one that you saw in the video, this one, and the ones that my friends bought for me. But really, this is something that a wood mill should be making, not me. It takes me a couple of hours to make each copy of the game, and even though I made all the pieces in the prototype, I still want some shapes that I just can't do myself. Shapes like a pyramid or a tetrahedron, iconic shapes that you don't ordinarily get in normal games. I mean, if you want a cube or a sphere or a normal block, sure, there's plenty of places out there that will sell you that kind of stuff. But if you want something that's really different and unique, you have to get a custom order, and custom orders are expensive. So that's why I'm here. I hope that you believe in Stacket the way that I do, and that you know people in your life who would have fun playing it. And so collectively, we can raise enough money in pre-orders to make Stacket available to everyone exactly the way I originally envisioned it, as a game that's very different, with unique shapes, and is really fun to play. Thanks for listening, and I hope you help us fund it.